Welcome back, Josh. Episode 91, we think.
Woo! Is that do you celebrate 91?
This is a game we play every episode.
It was a good
What episode is this? No, it's not 92.
The listener that just clicked the actual number is now like, these people don't even know what.
Yeah, they're like, look, it's wrote. They're like, look, it's wrote on the screen, and they don't even know.
Figure it out. That's the problem with recording in advance. That's the problem.
See, let me go over this real quick. Hey, 3 things I want to talk about. A dog attack today. Okay. It's not a good one. Ooh. No dog attacks are good. Don't get me wrong. But this is bad. And I don't want to do it because it's bad. I want to do it because it's kind of interesting about something about the dogs.
All right, dog attack.
The world's fastest talking man.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Back in the day. That's
faster.
Yep. And then I don't know, do you have anybody that laughs that it really bothers you?
I don't, but apparently my laugh bothers some people.
Really?
Yeah.
Who?
Jody.
No, it does not bother me at all. I like your laugh.
Sure you do.
Well, there's several laughs that really bother me. So I've recorded those laughs, and we're going to go through them today.
Let's do it.
So we'll do it.
You got a good show planned.
But before that, we're missing our third wheel.
This thing's turning into a motorcycle at this point.
What is going on?
Forget that tricycle we started out with.
You know, the bad thing was Spencer was here.
I know. Bailed.
And now he's not. It's like we're about to hit the record button, and he left.
He said, I got to go.
He's like,
he turned into the world's fastest talker. Did you hear that?
What else is going on? What you were talking about a minute ago is we do record. We were recording just a few days prior to when this is released, and now we've gotten to where it's almost, I don't want to let the secret out, but about 2 weeks early.
I mean, we're fortunate to have some in the bank, as we call it around here.
Because we have to.
Yeah, because schedules are hard.
Yeah, schedules are hard when you get to, well, it might not be as hard now since there's only 2 of us.
Life's still busy, Jody. What are you talking about?
2 wheels, no direction?
If we just started talking about what was going on in your life and my life right now, schedules are still hard.
Yeah.
Let's don't even add the third wheel's complicated life schedule.
So we try not to get into anything that's like happening right now. We try not to. It's for the simple fact that so much of that story could change by the time this comes out. So, like last week, we talked about the Final Four, and like by the time, and it wasn't, it was over by the time.
This thing's a month over by the time this one airs.
Yeah, we're like, this is coming out.
Way to go, Florida! We're so proud of you.
I don't know about that. You like Florida? Did you root it for?
I wasn't really following any of it, honestly. That's bad, isn't it? Like I caught a couple of highlight reels afterwards, but I know who won.
That's more than me. I forgot all about it.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Nicholas don't care about. He only cares about Florida football. He don't care about Florida basketball.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a fan, but would you call yourself a fan if you're not really watching the game?
If he didn't watch the game, I don't know if he's considered a fan.
So I guess just football.
Okay. There you go. Are you just a football fan too?
No.
You watch all the sports?
Pretty much. I like softball.
I'm watching a little more baseball college baseball than I normally do.
You watching that second first base?
I've been trying to figure it out a little bit since you turned me on to.
What color is the bag? Is it a solid same color for all games, or is every team got a different color?
I don't know. I've seen a lot of green here lately. I've seen a lot of green. That video you had a blue one in it.
Yeah. But
I remember a lot of mine have had green in it. So, speaking of Spencer, he's hard at work on his project. At least he's given us evidence that he is working.
Oh, he's putting it up.
He's working on it. So, nice. Way to go, Spencer.
Well,
We're proud of you.
He definitely needs to be doing that.
You're where you should be.
That's right.
We miss you, but anyway,
I guess.
Let's get into this thing today.
Which one do you want to do first?
I'm intrigued by the laughs.
You want to do the laughs first?
Or you want to give us is the dog story sad?
Well, somebody passes away.
Yeah, let's do it first.
You want to do the passing away first?
Yeah, let's
get it out of the way.
Let's end on the 2 laughters.
Okay, so we've got like a minute and a half video/audio on this, so we'll just listen to it and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah, okay. And can I comment during the middle of the video, or am I to be quiet?
If you can pause it, just hit that. I'll tell you what, just hit that A right there, and you can get it started. And you want to pause it, hit it again.
Police called to the home of a woman terrified of dogs.
That's gunshots, by the way.
Oh,
Asheville police find 73-year-old grandmother Joanne Eckelberger last October. She was attacked and dismembered by her neighbor's loose pit bulls.
She did not deserve
goodness.
this. She was tortured and she suffered.
Months later, Joanne's daughter and son sit with their attorney, unable to watch the body-worn camera video capture the day of their mother's death.
That's just a reminder of what happened that day. Just, it's awful. It's reckless. Feel like they were gambling with a lot of people's lives that day. And she was the one that paid the price.
Dog owners Adam Withers and his mother Susan were convicted last month of involuntary manslaughter.
This case involves the most vicious and savage dog mauling in the history of the state of Ohio and perhaps beyond.
This week, attorney Rex Elliott filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the Pickaway County Dog Warden and the Reserve of Ashton Village Condominium Association. The association ordered the removal of dogs Echo and Apollo in December of 2023 for previous attacks and obtained a court order for that removal a month before Joanne's death.
Or should the order have been more specific?
I think the HOA had a responsibility to take that order to law enforcement and get those dogs out of there.
Regarding dog warden Preston Schumacher,
Asheville police came out to us and gave us their condolences. Dog warden, we didn't hear from him. And I haven't talked to him once.
I investigated this call to the Withers home 3 weeks before the deadly attack. Both Echo and dangerous dog Apollo were loose and couldn't move.
I don't know what you want me to do. Y'all won't come out.
Officers believe both dogs were exposed to Withers cocaine, which experts say gave the warden a right to seize the dogs.
oh my.
Get over, bye-bye.
Instead, police carried Apollo back to Withers' condo themselves.
You come across a scene where the dog owner and the dogs are under the influence of cocaine, and yet nobody is responsible enough to get those dogs out of that community.
At this point,
You get up every morning and she's not there.
the county administrator tells me no reprimands have been added to the dog warden's personnel file, and he remains on the job.
The fact that he had
All right, that's enough.
Holy moly,
yeah,
cocaine.
so that's what I was going to say is like prior to this, right, they've had issues with these dogs, Echo and Apollo. Cool
Yeah.
names, by the way. I do like the names. But they got into their owner's stash of cocaine, apparently. But,
My goodness. What's a dog on cocaine? I mean, obviously,
well, apparently,
it's more aggressive.
I don't know. They said they carried the one. Is it Apollo back?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he's lethargic.
I was going to say.
He's enjoying that cocaine, I guess.
Didn't amp him up, kind of lulled him to sleep.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So what
This
they're
is
saying
terrible.
is that basically the dog warden / dog catcher person didn't do his job.
I didn't even know. I smiled in the middle of it when they named him a dog warden. I'd never heard that term before, so it made me smile. I was like, man.
That's an official title.
You know how they like to change job titles?
Yeah. So now there's a big lawsuit because nothing was done with these dogs. They've had some issues in the past. They're saying he didn't do his job. Could have done something then. Well, you would think, right, when you have a dog that they think is on. Well, how about this? If you think the dogs got into some people's stash of cocaine, shouldn't the cops be involved in maybe finding out if this is true? Maybe those people could go to jail.
I don't know. Seems like there's definitely probable cause to get somebody else involved.
I know with me, I keep my stash of cocaine on the refrigerator, or above the microwave, so the dogs can't get to it. That's just me. So, I mean, I think that's careless on your part if your dogs get into your stash.
That's dog neglect.
I
is
would
what
think,
that
though,
is.
you would think cocaine would make them dogs get riled up.
I would think. I mean, it's a upper, right? I mean,
yeah, and
cocaine
if
for the
you're
most part
if you're
is
a pit bull or whatever, you're like, I'm ready to destroy something.
Woo!
Like there ain't nothing that I can see is gonna live after I snort this cocaine.
It's like I'm going to chew through that tree.
I don't know.
Through the baseboards. I'm
So-
going to eat them all.
Me not knowing anything about cocaine, then maybe you do.
Thanks for that.
If you eat it, what kind of effects do you get off of it instead of snorting it? Snorting it gets in your bloodstream quicker.
I would imagine.
Yeah. So eating it, does it does it finally get into your system to where you're having the same reaction, or is it just like do something totally different?
You're asking me a question. I have no idea. I can't even.
I just want your opinion. Just make something up.
I'm gonna say it. Obviously, for dogs, it's a little slower. It seems like. I don't know if as a person, it seems like it'd be slower. Obviously, some people tried this in different ways, and they've come to the conclusion that snorting it gives them the maximum effect. So I'm guessing that's why they went with it.
You think the dogs are like, next time we're going to snort it? Because it's eating it ain't working out too good. But they only said one of them.
I just got sleepy. Why didn't I get all hyped up?
Yeah, one of them had to be carried back. So what happened to the other one? Did the other one, like, he was good with it? He was fine? He's like...
How did they treat him for that and then carry him back?
I don't know. Do you treat them, or you just carry them back?
You're just like,
hey,
y'all believe that?
Yeah, call the vet Monday morning. Is that what they say? I don't know.
Who knows?
So the bad part about the story is, and I can't find my paper that goes with it. Imagine that. I've held on to this for 3 weeks trying to tell. I got all these
keep
stories.
Up with nothing.
I got all these stories I've been trying to get to, and then by the time we get to them, I lose them.
On top of the refrigerator.
I know, because I'd look at it every night. Right?
You're well aware. Where it's
several times a day. My understanding is that the lady was deathly afraid of dogs.
Yeah, that's
which makes it even worse. But also, her husband was wheelchair bound.
She was 73, I think I heard it say.
And he saw the whole thing happen and couldn't do anything.
What was the body cam footage of? Like the cops arriving on the scene?
I think after everything that happened, and I don't know why you would have access or why you would give access to them. I guess because of the lawsuit, you're going to give it to the lawyer for the family, but I can understand why you wouldn't want to see it.
No, I wouldn't.
If you're coming up on a scene like that, and they said dismembered.
Yeah, I mean, you lost a limb.
I read another story that didn't say anything about that. So whether they left it out of the other story or whatever, but that's...
Excuse me.
Do you call that an attack? That is
vicious.
That's bad.
I've seen people get bit by a dog before. My mom was bit by a dog. She was walking. My dog, it was my girlfriend, but now my wife. It was our dog together, and my mom had taken her out for a walk in our neighborhood, and some of the neighborhood dogs that were not on leashes came up and started attacking our dog, and my mom tried to knock them off, and she ended up being bit. I was just like from my front yard to my neighbor's front yard from it and had to run over there. So that was scary enough, and it was just a bite.
Yeah.
And not vicious dogs, definitely not ones hyped up on something.
I've been bit one time by a dog. It was a Cocker Spaniel. And once I got bit, and after it's all said and done, I found out that's like top 5 dogs for, known for their bite.
Chihuahuas bite a lot too, don't they?
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about this one right here. This was my cousin's, all right, dog, and it was in a pen, and I was petting him. Me and my dad was over at their house. They weren't home.
How old are you?
I am...
Ballpark it.
14.
Okay.
15. We're over to their house cutting firewood. All right, so nobody's there. I'm over there petting the dog through the fence. Petting the dog. His little tail's just to go and everything. And next thing I know, he grabs a hold of my hand and...
You're outside the fence.
I'm outside the fence. He's inside the fence. No aggression showing. Like I said, that little tail's going, but he grabbed onto my hand like a rag doll, and he just tore my hand up.
Woo!
Yeah, I've got the scar right across. I don't know if you can see it right there. It's been so long. But yeah, I went to the hospital and everything. They were afraid to stitch it up because of infection. They're afraid that, But yeah, that was nasty. And that hurt.
Have to irrigate it and flush it out and stuff.
They didn't do anything like that. I do remember them like getting a piece of meat and getting like scissors and like cutting. They pulled something and cut it. It's like, I guess I don't need that piece.
Numbed at that point, I guess? They had it numbed?
I don't remember.
Oh. Woo!
I do know this, though.
Yowzer.
My dad didn't take me to the hospital. He took me to where my mom was at. My mom was buying groceries.
Your mom carried you to the grocery store?
So he dropped me off. He dropped me off at the grocery store. My mom took me to the hospital. And on the way to
as a kid, that probably made perfect sense. As an adult, you're going,
well, I don't blame him.
Meet me at the emergency room would have been a logical thought process.
Well, you got to think, too, no cell phones at this time.
That's true.
Okay. It was a different time.
That's true.
He knew where she was at. She knew where he was at, so he just took me there. So I think it was more like, hey, deal with this. I got wood to cut.
I'm going back to cut the wood.
Yeah.
You take him on to the
So
doctor.
I remember when we were on the way to the grocery store, as I'm bleeding out. I remember everything going white. It's getting really white, really, and I can remember saying, "Just turn around, just turn around." In that voice right there, because I felt like I didn't have the energy. I was passing out. I thought I was leaving the earth. I really did.
This is how I go out.
Yeah,
That stupid Cocker
as
Spaniel.
soon as everything was going white, it was over, and I was fine. That was
wild.
very crazy. Anyway, but got to the grocery store. The owner of the grocery store actually let my mom put all the groceries in their cooler because she was.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think she was checking out. Maybe I don't remember. Real nice. Anyway, went to the emergency room, did all that stuff. So that's
You survived it.
I survived. Here I am.
Managed to live.
But that was bad. Yeah, I'd suggest not getting bit by a dog. I could imagine getting bit by a sure enough good one, like a Rottweiler.
Yeah.
Doberman Pinscher. Now, I did have a story that you weren't here for. You know the guy, of course, I'm not going to mention his name, lives down the road from me. He's 95 years old. I was
here for this.
Was you?
Walking the dog and you tried to pet it.
I told you. I told the story again. Yep.
I listened to it. I pay attention
I'm
when you're
glad
talking.
you did. Yeah.
Look at there.
Yeah, I know you didn't listen to
He
that
said he
episode.
needs to come with a warning sign. Don't pet my
That's
dog.
exactly right. Yeah, he would have got me for sure.
Don't pet my dog.
That would involve stitches. I have a feeling that day.
Arr.
Yeah, or dismemberment because he was all about getting me.
He's going to take that pinky off.
Yeah.
Look like a little carrot snack.
Yeah. So I remember when Nicholas was young that we went to some friends' houses or some friend's house, and their dog, their lab, jumped up on him and knocked him down, and it was a long time before he got over being scared of dogs. So.
So I had a question. It was a good question, but I've lost it.
About dogs?
Oh, no. It was a little less about dogs and more about biting. This is what I was going to. What about, less about dogs and people? Is that if a kid bites, like, how children, when they're growing up, that's kind of one of their reacts. Why do they bite? Like, some, like our daughters, one of them specifically went through a phase where she bit one or two people. And how it wasn't like she witnessed that. She wasn't in a child care.
Yeah, it wasn't like she got it from her daddy.
Yeah, her
like
parents don't do it. She didn't really go to a center where she was only around other adults where she didn't see that. So I'm trying to figure out what's instinctively in a person or animal that says, I got to bite them to attack,
Is it something you finally realize that you can do? Is it kind of like pinching? When a kid kind of learns how to pinch or whatever, don't they start pinching every once in a while? Yeah.
I know it normally comes out of frustration. The biting is never like a, hey, we're just laughing and playing. Then like,
yeah.
It's normally out of, or at least in our scenario. Did Nicholas go through that? He ever bite?
Yeah, he bit.
Did y'all?
I think he still bites.
How'd you?
I tried to. He ain't grown out of it yet.
Get a call from the college professor. He bit another kid.
Yep. Kicking him out of class.
Sorry.
Yeah.
He does that.
Yeah.
Occasionally.
But how do you react to that though when you've got a kid in like a daycare or whatever? And
you got to send them home. I think you got to have a pretty strict policy.
But I'm just saying, like if you're the parent and your kid got bit, I mean, you can't get really. I mean, it's like anything. It's like little Johnny pushed Susan out there on the playground. She scuffed up her knee. Yeah. I mean, what do? You get on to little Johnny. I mean, it's like you can't do that, but you don't we're kicking him out.
Yeah. I think you got to send them home that day.
Yeah.
You got to say you're out of here.
Now,
you got to have a pretty strict, and then
if he's throwing rocks, that might be a little different.
It's you got to have some strict policies, and you just got to live by those.
Some boundaries.
Say, hey, this is our biting policy, straight up front.
You say, look. You start off with
look,
and you go.
Have you heard somebody say this? Is what I was going to ask you a minute ago. Have you heard someone say that it takes the same strength to bite off your pinky as it does to bite through a raw carrot? You ever heard that?
I've heard that.
But
I don't believe it. No.
I don't believe it.
No.
I don't buy into it. They say it's a psychological thing. But
Test it out.
It's definitely a psychological thing because I care nothing about it. I don't know. I hadn't bitten many raw carrots lately.
But I've also
I
heard
like them cooked.
that it only takes 25 pounds of pressure to rip your ear off.
We were standing in line at a Walmart in another state. We were trying to return something, and me and my oldest daughter were just standing there talking. She's probably 10 or so and this guy in front of us just starts chatting with us. He says he's some kind of taekwondo instructor.
Ooh.
And he says, people's ears rip off like Velcro. And he looked at my daughter and he said, if anybody ever messed with him, you just grab hold of their ear and it'll rip off like Velcro. And I remember her going, freaking out as a kid.
Scare a kid.
And I was like, God, I think they're calling you. I think you're next. There's still 5 people in front of him. Like, hey, I think it's your turn.
Think about it. If ears could be ripped off real easy, wouldn't we see a lot of one-eared people?
Listen,
I have a feeling from, say, 8 years old to 18, either I would have ripped a lot of people's ears off or I would be at least earless at some point.
I've been in enough confrontations where I've got a hold of somebody's ear or whatever, that.
I know I've had some to where it feels like it got ripped off. It's like, I know it. Look, is it there? It can't be there.
Double
It
check
hurts so
for
bad.
me.
Yeah. Is it bleeding? It's got to be bleeding.
You see wrestlers with a cauliflower ear.
That is terrible.
But I mean, somebody got a hold of it good
Yeah.
at that point.
I want to be like, hey, stick a pin in that and drain it. Something.
Get that out of there.
Yeah, it's been there too long. Ain't nothing coming out of the thing.
That is nothing to laugh about.
I think I would rather cut my ear off than have cauliflower ear. That's just my preference. I'll speak for myself.
I don't know that I share the same.
What would I look like with one ear?
I don't know. You want to try? I got this really dull pocket knife. You want to see what we can do?
I wonder if you can get it started. I bet if you slice it a little bit and get it started, it'll rip right off the rest of the way. What do you think? I wish I had access to my phone so I could look this up.
I think I want to keep my ears intact as long as I possibly can. Oh, tell us about the laughs. Let's hear the laughs.
Oh, you want to hear the laughs?
I want to hear the
All right,
laughs.
so I've compiled just several laughs. Like the first 3 are people that it really annoys. It's celebrities that annoy me. Well, celebrities do annoy me, but some of them's laughs really annoy me. So I'll let you figure out if you know who it is.
Okay.
The last few is just some that I came across as I was trying to get clips of these. So this isn't like a compilation of like, hey, I found this on YouTube and it's playing all of them. I actually did some deep dives and got this all together.
So you got like an interview and you like waited till they laughed.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Kind
All
of,
right.
kind of, sort of.
Let's see. The first one is multiple though, right?
The first one is going to be about 40 seconds of it. This one actually was, I got off
a compilation.
Of, yeah, because there's several people that don't like this laugh, apparently.
All right. You're not on an island.
No. So
Let's hear 'em.
Let's see what happens.
If you want to.
Okay. Those were put together pretty close together. But if you could hear, when
is there a video that goes with that, or is it just the audio?
it was.
Oh, I want to see this.
So, do you have any idea who that is?
Oh, that sounds like he's British.
No.
Huh? No. Oh,
I'll say news anchor / reporter / he was on Fox News.
Oh.
Used to be.
I don't know.
Tucker Carlson.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Have you ever heard? I've always said it always bothers me. He's got the weirdest, but he can be in the middle of that laugh and then go back to something serious like this. It is so crazy how he is. yeah. And it's a told you so.
Tonight at 10 o'clock.
Oh my goodness.
That's crazy.
All right, this next one. This really bothers me.
Okay.
This guy right here.
Is this number 1 on your list?
I would say so.
Okay. All right.
So get ready.
Let's hear it.
Get ready. It's coming, I promise.
I'll take as much credit. I'll take even more credit for it than I deserve to. Thank you. I worked hard on it. It's in there. No. No.
That's terrible.
It's so throaty.
That is terrible. It's
It
terrible.
doesn't sound genuine. It doesn't even sound.
Yeah, but it's real. Oh, it is real.
Actor?
He's an actor.
He's an actor. Oh, I don't know that voice. I was trying to place the voice more than the laugh. There's no way I'd have placed the laugh. Oh, movie actor or TV actor?
Movie.
Movie actor.
I can't even name anything that he's in. Several things. You'd know him if you saw him.
Okay. So it's.
I would.
Is it
comedy? I don't know.
Is it Will Ferrell?
No.
No.
That's a good guess though.
I was trying to. I don't know his laugh. He's always kind of stoic. His comedic relief is like he'll deliver something hilarious and then just look at you like, "Why are you laughing?"
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Give me. You don't have a movie you could give me?
I can't think.
All
of
right,
anything.
just tell me who it is.
Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen. Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do know who you're talking about.
I can't think of anything he's in. I mean, I can see some of the parts, but I can't think of the name of the movie.
I can see a picture of him in my head, but that's about it right now. I can't think of what he's in.
Just terrible, terrible laugh. That is a terrible laugh.
Is that his real laugh?
Yes, that's his real laugh.
That's his real
Yes.
laugh. Oh, that's
Absolutely terrible.
unfortunate.
All right,
Which I guess people say that about mine too.
I love your laugh.
Sure, you.
That's
do.
what makes the podcast.
I think it's highlighted on.
You haven't laughed enough during this episode.
Sorry.
There we go. All right, number 3. You ready?
All right, let's hear it.
Bear with me.
What is that?
You go.
Kind of sound like Beavis and Butthead is what it sounds a little bit. Oh, let's see.
They say it's like an evil laugh.
TV personality, voice actor.
He's in the news every day. I'll put it that way.
He's in the news.
Yeah, I'll keep giving
Elon Musk.
That is correct.
Is that it? Now that I thought about it, I could hear it.
Yeah.
I saw a recent footage of him. He was like at some inaugural ball or something, and he'd like put all the silverware together, and he had it balanced on his finger, and that was the laugh that was playing in the background.
It was like nothing else in the world was going on except him, and he was looking at this thing floating back and forth in his hand.
I saw
and
that.
I know. It's like,
And somebody had mastered that laugh over it. It finally clicked. Like, he's just that laugh is going and he's moving. Obviously, they've edited that part, but
he's a strange character.
Oh.
I don't know if I could stand to be around him. I really think that it would be very. Of course, he's awkward. I'm awkward, so we'd clash in that part right there. But just his humor is that I don't get him.
oh, it would be. It gives it a little Beavis and. You remember Beavis and Butthead?
I do.
When you do the impersonation, it reminds me of Beavis and Butthead.
I was going to try and do it, but now I can't. All right, let's see. Let's do the next one. It's coming. You can't tell at the very beginning right here, but it'll get more detailed in a second.
Sounds like a bird call.
That's what it sounds like.
Any
idea?
Female. Is it a female?
No,
It's not a female?
No,
I thought it was a female.
No.
Okay.
What did you say a minute ago that it sounded like?
Oh, let's see.
An animal? Did you?
Yeah, it sounded like a bird.
Right.
That's what I was
so
saying.
his first name is similar to what you just
It's
said.
Bird. Bird's first name is Bird. Bird. That's the word. I don't know. TV actor. Mm-hmm. TV actor.
Well, movies.
Okay.
You name it.
I don't know it.
Big in the 80s.
Big in the 80s.
Passed away probably 5
Burt
or 10
Reynolds?
years. Burt Reynolds, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah. I was going Smokey and the Bandit was going to be my next
All
one.
right. I was headed. I almost said Burt a minute ago when you said it sounds like Bird. That was the big hint for me. But really,
strange. That's strange.
I didn't expect that one.
I always thought that was fake. I thought that was just a character, when he was playing what he did, but no.
They said, sure enough, that's his.
That's sure enough.
The other person in there had a strange little laugh going.
Yeah, they needed to dissect, bring his out a little bit more. I think most of that was from Smokey and the Bandit. All right, I've got 2 more, I think.
All right, give them to me.
Our first female. Oh, no. That's terrible.
Is that Fran? Is that Fran Drescher?
That's it, yep.
Oh, I knew that one.
Yep. That's
I
terrible.
got it. She has a very distinct
Yeah.
laugh, personality, all of that.
All right, one
Did
more.
you watch her show back in the day?
The Nanny?
The
Wasn't that
Nanny.
it?
Did you watch it?
No, I did not.
I saw bits and pieces of it back
Wasn't
in
a
the
little
day.
risque.
I don't remember. I was young.
I saw a few clips when I was pulling this up,
Yeah.
and it looked a little raunchy.
So I saw it back in the day.
Yeah. All right, one more. Here it is.
Hit it.
You'll get this one.
Eddie Murphy.
That's right. I'll stop it right there. Yeah. All right. Now the story with that, I always
Is
thought
that his real laugh?
I thought that was fake, but it was his real laugh. But he got so much criticism for it, he stopped laughing like that. That's what he said. I mean, how do you stop
How do
your
you
laugh?
change your laugh?
I don't know.
How do you?
Well, I'll tell you, it's just
you
like
just gotta like.
we had the conversation a few weeks ago about words that we say during the podcast that we don't really, and I say like all the time.
It's in my mind. I try not to say it so
but
much.
you finally realize what you're doing and you kind of back off and you can say, I think that's what he probably did with this. No laugh.
Have you slowed down on OKs?
I don't know.
I haven't noticed them as much.
I still say like a lot.
Okay.
I don't
I
think
was
there's
thinking
anything
it
I
was
can do.
okay, but it was like was your
It's
turn.
like, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it's okay.
Okay, that was funny. That was a fun segment.
Did you like that?
Yeah, I did. I never would have got the first ones. So which one was your least favorite?
Do you want to hear Tucker Carlson one more time?
Hit it one more time.
Eddie Murphy might make a replay right here. Let's say I might have stopped it too quick, but if not.
I think you got to hit it again.
Yeah, it was right there at the end. It finished playing and stopped.
What's he laughing at? It's so funny. What's so funny?
He just comes out of the blue and he'll laugh at something, but then he goes back to being serious. We're going to listen to Seth Rogen one more time, too, right here. Because there's so much difference between. He's like fast and this one's slow.
More credit for it than I deserve to. I worked hard on it. It's in there. No.
It's like slow motion, you know?
No.
It's terrible.
What in the world?
I don't know.
Oh, all right. I want to.
But they probably say the same thing. Like even my laugh.
If somebody played
I don't-
bars back, if you isolated just anybody's laugh, it's going to sound.
I don't think I have a bad laugh, but I'm sure there's
what you
somebody
think.
out there who's like, that laugh gets on my nerves.
That thing is on my nerves. That's crazy. All right. World's fastest talker.
The world's fastest talker. I don't know if you remember back in the 80s, maybe blending into the 90s, but I strictly remember in the 80s, like a FedEx commercial. I think it was a Rice-A-Roni commercial, some things like that. They had this guy that spoke really fast.
Okay.
His name was John Muschita. I think that's how you say his
Just
name.
say it fast.
Yeah. That's how it sounds like. Anyway, so let me read this right here.
Is this like what we're talking about when they began talking about the fine print at the bottom of the screen? Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, yeah,
Where they
that-
kind of
yeah.
read the.
Yeah.
The side effects include.
Yeah, you know, the next,
this is like
and they
the
speed
precursor.
up. You know, they speed that part up. So, all right. So, the world's fastest talker, as recognized by the Guinness Book of World Records, is John Muschita, who can speak at a rate of 534 words per minute.
What's the average? Do we know what the average?
You always ask these questions right before I get to it. My next sentence is the average person speaks at a rate of about 150 words per minute.
Woo!
I speak about 72. Because I'm slow motion. And half of those 72 are said wrong. You know? So he made a career out of his fast talking ability, appearing on TV, all kinds of commercials, over 100 commercials to be exact. His record was broken in 1990 by a guy who spoke 637 words.
Whoa! What year? 1990?
1990. And then in 1995, again, it was broken with a guy that spoke 655 words per minute.
That's better, but it's not like destroying his record. The second record, like 637 to 656.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you did better.
So doesn't this sound like a perfect record breaker right here? However, Machida questions the legitimacy of those claiming to be faster than him.
Oh,
of course.
Poor sport.
If you've ever got it, you break a record like
better than you.
They go back and recount.
He's like, I was the first.
Yeah. And he's 70 years old, by the way.
Now. He's currently 70.
Yeah.
That's 537. 534. That's a lot.
It is a lot.
So does that mean you have to be able to read that fast to be able to speak that fast, or do you have to memorize it?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Because I don't know that I could process the words reading them at the rate that we're going to talk about speaking them. You'd almost have to have it. You'd have to be very familiar with, not like you hand him a book and say, start reading, and he could clock out at 500 and something words a minute.
Yeah. I saw he trained himself to read fast. And so that in turn caused him to speak fast. But I think you've just got to have that ability. Just because you can read fast don't mean you're going to be able to speak it. So I guess he just had both abilities.
Because the engine, like an auctioneer, can speak fast.
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily mean.
But sometimes you're saying no nonsense words too, so to speak. I guess you could say,
you're just kind of making some sounds.
Yeah, and you're just throwing a number out there every once in a while. 50, 55.
Spencer's dad can do some of that.
Can he?
Yeah, he's pretty talented at it.
Dial him up. I
know.
Get him on there. And
that's what I was going to say. We'll have to say that for another episode.
Yeah. So he does. I'm going to play one. I got 2 clips of him. In the second clip, we'll play a little bit later. But it's where they ask him to do. This is an old clip. It's where Michael Jackson's record just came out, Bad. That was new, and so they get him to read the lyrics off the back. So the way it sounds and looked from the video I saw, that he was taken by surprise, so he wasn't ready for it. And so if he's reading it, buddy, he is doing some quick reading.
Man,
yeah.
I like to listen to my audio books on like 1.5 to get them done a little faster sometimes.
I used to do that with podcasts.
I imagine this is going to be more than 1.5.
Yeah, yeah. So let's play this one right here and see.
When I was 12 years old, I wanted to get into the Guinness Book of World Records. So I figured the only thing I could really do, since I wasn't going to eat a car or swallow lead pipe, was to lock myself in a room and teach myself fast talking. Okay. And I did that with the Hamlet soliloquy. To be or not to be, that is to be or not to be, that is to be or not to be, that is the question. Years later, I'm at this party, fancy California Beverly Hills party, and a friend of mine is trying to pick up this Valley girl. He's from New York and talking pretty quickly, and she looks at him and says, like, oh my gosh, are you like the world's fastest talker? And he says, no, as a matter of fact, this person is. They called me over and I did one of my little party routines. And a guy walked over and he says, that's incredible. I'm a producer and I'm going to put you on a show. I went on the show and I did the fast talking thinking that would be it. And all of a sudden the phone starts ringing and I'm booked all over the place. And I managed to make a living out of it.
It's a pretty good little piece right here.
I can speak as fast as 11 words a second. Now, I never do 11 words a second for TV. Well, let me do Peter Piper at 11 words a second. Peter Piper, and you kind of hear me going pub, 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 but that's really all you're kind of getting. But when you do TV, there's visual reinforcement. People see you and do whatever. So I do about 7 to 8 words a second. That would sound something like Peter Piper, now on radio, I have to do it even a little slower because you have no visual reinforcement, you're not seeing me. So then I do about 5 to 6 words a second. So it sounds something like Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, a peck of pickled peppers did Peter Piper pick it, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, was the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. And that's kind of the secret to my success.
That's wild.
How about that?
That's wild.
So he's slowing it down depending on what he's doing.
Yeah.
And having the ability to do that. That's what I find interesting.
Is he doing that live right then? Or was that through the magic of like pre-recorded? What I'm saying, when he gave us like an 11, when he gave us a 5, when he gave us a whatever the last one was.
I don't know.
I was wondering if he was pre-recorded and just played those, or if he could, in his mind,
I kind of have a feeling that you don't think he's truthful. I don't think you believe him.
No, I
That's
believe
what I'm
him.
getting. Are you sure about that, Josh?
I was talking about in that piece right there, because I think it would be really hard to say, all right, I'm going to run 11 miles an hour. Now I'm going to run 5 miles an hour. Now I'm going to run 2 miles an hour. I don't think, like, it'd be hard. You'd have to be really skilled at what you were doing.
Yeah.
To be able to speak at that pace and go, oh, I'm going to give him about the 11. I'm going to give him at the, why that sound like a turkey? I don't know. I'm going to give him the 5. I'm going to give him the 4. But it is impressive.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's absolutely right. That first one, without any kind of
hear
something,
the pops.
I just thought, well, I could do that. You know, you feel like you could mumble your way through it.
Yeah.
But as he slowed it down, you realize he's saying the words that are there.
Yeah, that's what he says. That's how they count it, is they slow down the audio to be able to count the words to get the record.
Yeah.
So do you mean play the next one?
Yeah, let's play the next one.
Okay, and then it'll be about a minute and a half.
The reason you were put into the Guinness Book, by the way, was because you sang the song You Got Trouble.
Right,
okay.
from The Music Man.
Can you give us a little bit of that?
I'll give it a shot. I haven't done it in a while here, so let's see. Freddie, the question situation, you do not wish to challenge you when I wrote the caliber just indicated by the presence of the pool table in your community. Wake up, my friends right here, stay to avoid River City, West Shore, my good place, or my part same was my part stating the hours I spent with the crew in my hand, golden, happy portions at Cool and Key 9. So it's a little fast to understand, but when they slow it down...
Wait a minute, you expect me to buy that? I tell you what,
if you put this on a lexicon time compressor and you slow it down, you will in fact hear each and every word. That's how they have to verify it to be a record.
Your word is mine. Okay, you're right. Woo! Here's a new contemporary challenge. This is from
About to do the moonwalk.
Michael Jackson's new album. His first cut there, Bad. I'm bad. If you could just sort of give us your rendition of it. I'd like to hear that.
I'll give it up to the first chorus there. Okay. Your butt is mine, gonna tell you right. You show your face in the broad daylight. I'm telling you how I feel, gonna hurt your mind. Don't shoot to kill. Come on, lay it on me, all right. I'm giving you one on the count of 3 to show you stuff or let it be. I'm telling you, just watch your mouth. I know your game. What about you? Well, I say the sky's the limit, and to me that's really true. But my friend, you see nothing. Just wait till I get through because I'm bad. Come on. Bad, really bad. You know I'm bad. You know, bad, really bad. You know I'm bad. Come on. You know bad, really bad. And the whole world has the answer just right. Just tell you once again who's bad.
Woo! Hey, I could understand those words better than I could the first song.
Yeah.
Like, you could tell he's a little slower when he had to read it.
Right. So if you watch the video, he actually, the interviewer hands him the album, and he's actually looking at it, and you see him doing it. But I'm thinking, like, that is some fast, reading.
I need him on my audiobooks is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
This is 6-speed. There's no way I could process what he's saying.
He'd probably get mad at me. I talk so slow. He'd be like, I can't be around
Spit
you.
it out.
Come on now.
Today, Junior.
Oh, that'd be fun. Me and him side by side. He'd just shake his head every time I said something.
All right, Jody, you read this.
And then he'd be like, I got this, Jody.
Bad.
I like the end of it. How many times it says bad? I'm bad. I'm really, really bad.
That's funny. That was a good piece, Jody. I like that.
You like that?
That was pretty cool. What was his name again? I don't need his last name. John M. Way to go, John.
Muschita. I think that's
Muschita.
Moschita. If I could say it faster, I would.
There you go. He could do our whole podcast in about 3 minutes.
I wish he had
if he had the script, he could do that. There you go.
If he just would laugh like Seth Rogen. It'd make everything better. He'd say that real fast, and he'd
laugh real slow.
Yeah.
He said, I laugh in slow motion.
If you saw this guy, you'd remember him. I guarantee.
If I saw a picture of him,
yep.
I'll look him up later.
Not nowadays, but if you go back to
prime time.
Yes.
Back in the 80s, yeah. That's a unique talent to discover. Like, hey, I think I can do this faster than most people can.
I started thinking about him a couple of days ago, and I was thinking, isn't that something you might think you would see every once in a while? Somebody that could, speed talk, just in a, random movie, on a show, a news article, something like that. I haven't heard anything, and apparently the two guys that came after him, what did they do? I don't guess anything. I guess there wasn't a calling for them to be in the movies or commercials or anything like that. 'Cause I've never heard of him. But 2, I didn't know his name. Of course, I knew his face, so maybe
you knew it. You recognized it when you saw him. You kind of were like, "Oh yeah, I know this guy."
Yeah.
I'm looking up something. Just a second.
You looking up him or something different?
Something that's along the same lines. But I was going to ask a question that spun off of this and spun off a conversation that me and you had. Talk about having that gift, that talent, and discovering it. Each of us, me and you both as believers, and Spencer as well as believers, the Lord gives us each different gifts and talents and abilities. And I was just thinking about how cool it is that He gives us all different ones. And sometimes we get to figure out how to use them. And sometimes, like for him, it makes a living. Sometimes we get to use them for the kingdom. I just thought that was pretty.
But could you imagine spreading the gospel with him? Like, he could put it out there, right?
And nobody could process it, though.
Yeah, but people what'd he say? What'd he say? I was like, I feel like I need to know what he said.
And then you just walk by and even hand out Bibles and say, here, read it. He actually just quoted Genesis, all of it.
He's got a good heart. Trust me. He's trying.
Give him one of the short books of the Bible, though, like a Jude. Like, here you go. Memorize that one, and then we're going to walk right behind you. We're just going to hand out copies and say, read it for yourself. Read it for yourself.
Yep.
Check him. I mean, people would show up. They would read along with something. If you said, hey, he's going to talk, you read along. And then they slowed it. They gave you the slower versions. It's kind of like a vision test. You check to see at what pace you can read. Can you get it at 11? Can you get it at 10, 9, 8, 7?
Hey, if they said this guy was going to be at the local mall Saturday, I'd be like, what are we doing Saturday?
I'd go.
We free? Let's go down there and see. Let's check this guy out.
Would you eat at the Chinese restaurant while we're there?
If I could go with him. Tell him to order for me. We'll have the... Why? What?
And they say we have a buffet.
Why did you say about the Chinese restaurant?
I don't know that.
I'll eat there.
When you said mall, that was the first restaurant that I thought of that was down there.
Well, there's another
restaurant there. I know,
but that didn't hit your.
It didn't hit my mind. It was a secondary thought after I said it.
I haven't ate at that Chinese place in a long time.
I
used to eat there all the time. I say all the time.
It's been a while.
Often.
You don't eat out
often.
You don't eat out
a couple times a year.
Do you? You're not a big eat out guy anyway.
No, I'm not.
You'd rather eat at the house.
I did. I'll tell you this though. Saturday I did eat out. We ate at I don't even know where I ate at.
Oh, a lot's happened since
it
Saturday.
was wasn't Ruby Tuesday.
Were you in another town?
Yes.
Applebee's is like Ruby Tuesdays.
It was Applebee's. That's exactly. Were you with me?
No,
I just don't remember it.
I was just that. When you say Ruby Tuesday is like Ruby Tuesdays, Applebee's is the closest comparison.
Thing. It's the same thing. You just change the sign outside. I mean, all of them the same. TGIF, same thing.
Except for Ruby Tuesdays used to have a really good salad bar, and Applebee's does not.
Ruby Tuesday, I always got their salad.
I like their salad bar.
It was a spread.
They had some wheat croutons, or brown bread kind of croutons.
It looked fancy.
Loved it.
Okay, back to Ruby Tuesday.
Yeah.
Me and Amanda used to eat there every Friday night. Every Friday night.
It
Jody? Was one of those things where there's no
you were
question.
A different person then.
Hey, it was like, there's no question about what are we doing Friday night. It's almost like I wouldn't even have to say nothing. If I got home, whatever.
It's like get your clothes on, honey. We're going to the Tuesday.
Ain't even got to talk. She could go out and get in the car. She knows I'm coming because she knows where we're going.
All right.
Yeah, and I always got the 3-way platter.
Okay.
It was steak skewers, chicken tenders, something else. I can't think now.
Shrimp. Did it have shrimp?
Maybe so.
I don't know.
I have to watch shrimp because I got that little allergy thing.
I thought that was that then in existence then? I thought that was new.
What, my shrimp allergy?
Yeah.
No, I've always.
That's all.
Yeah,
always
I have to taste test.
Okay.
Yeah. Once I taste
I thought that was new. I thought it was developing.
I'm right on the line. Call me Danger. Danger Jody. Jody Danger, whatever.
I'm looking up the platter. It was the 3-play.
It was not. It was the 3. It was not the 3-play.
It was not the 3-play?
No. Trust me. I know.
All right.
I feel like it was every Friday night for years is what I feel like. And then, what did Ruby Tuesday end up doing? They decided, you know what? We need to get fancy. We need to redo everything. So they redid the whole inside, different plates, different everything, and then guess what? Different menu.
Oh, they didn't do away
No
with
more
yours.
three-way platter. The three-way platter was almost like an appetizer.
Okay.
But it was not an appetizer.
I'm looking up what was on it.
I need Amanda here right now. If she's listening right now, she's screaming at the speaker,
ingredients,
saying, I know what it is. I know what it is. Why can't you remember? And I'm like, I don't know.
This has only got modern stuff. It won't go to the old stuff. Because this is
It's not too modern. Because
saying
COVID knocked them out.
It's saying it's got cheese. Cheese skillet, Italian 5 cheese skillet, onion rings, chicken bites. None of these are what was on your platter.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jody. They don't even have a replica menu.
So back to eating at, where'd you say I went?
You went Applebee's.
Applebee's. Thank you. I forget so quickly. So we went out of town. We was actually going to a little, kind of like a Pickers flea market inside big festival thing. You had to pay to get in type thing.
No.
So we got there. Wasn't nothing. Got our hopes up, I guess. So
Wish you wouldn't have paid now.
Yeah. $11 I won't get back. $11. Can you believe
piece?
that? 11 a piece.
Ouch.
Yes, $22 if you do the math, because there was 2 of us.
I'm expecting.
If there was 3 of us, it would have been 33.
That's
I'd have drawn the
your
line.
math skills.
I didn't
are
invite Nicholas
impeccable.
just for that. So it was a little early. It was I think it was 11:09 to be exact.
Wow.
We pulled because we were
You
looking
can
for.
remember what time you showed up, but not the name of the restaurant.
Yes, I can. Yeah, I have my memory. It's weird.
11:09.
Yeah,
Where'd I eat somewhere? I don't know.
Leave me alone.
But I ate at 6:02.
So we got there. We went to one place. Oh, Red Lobster. We kind of went by there and Red Lobster didn't make it. Do you remember that? We did the story. They went bankrupt.
Yeah.
Closed a bunch of stores.
It used to be so
Restaurant,
good.
not stores. You don't call them a store.
It used to be so. It was a hot spot. Anyway,
I can remember when my grandparents, I don't know, it seemed like their 75th wedding anniversary
Was
a
that-
long time ago, and it was at Red Lobster.
you used to think I thought I was fancy. If
It
I
was
ate at a restaurant.
fancy.
I thought my parents were loaded the day.
Yeah, we drove the Park Avenue there. Because it was and I'm not making fun because Park that was fancy.
No, I know.
That
I'm
was
just saying. I'm with you.
I just remember they always gave you the glass of water. Do you remember when all restaurants would give you the glass of water? I think they kind of did away with it. Does anybody do that anymore?
A couple of upscale restaurants still.
There was,
do.
an environmental thing because they're wasting water when they bring it out to you and you don't drink it, What you think about it is like, hey, if I'm not going to drink water, why are you bringing me water?
Yeah.
How do you know what I want? Won't you come ask me before you just bring it? And,
Just wet your whistle with it.
is that what you're supposed to do? This is for the biscuits, Jody. The water
So that you can speak 56 words a minute.
Yeah.
Instead of your typical 52.
All right, so we got there at 11:09.
All
right, so
You're at the flea market.
no,
not
we're
the
at
restaurant.
the restaurant
At 11:09.
At 11:09, which is a little early.
All right, it's a little early.
Because there was nobody there, and we
That's
thought,
right.
hey, are they open? And I told surely they don't open at 11:30. They open at 11. Surely.
Okay.
There was 2 cars there, and I thought, well, that's a cook and and somebody
A
else.
waitress and a cook. That's
I'm
all
assuming,
I need.
I'm assuming. So as we're walking up there, yes, it says opens at 11. So, and when I went to pull on, you know how my luck is. I was going to reach for the door, and I was expecting it not to open. And I was
thinking,
already getting ready
it's
for
locked.
it. Yeah. So I went in there, a lot colder than I wanted it to be, by the way, too. A lot colder.
Did you double back to the car to get a jacket?
Well, if I'd had one, I definitely would have wore it. If there was like a TJ Maxx close by, I'd actually walked there and bought one and came back.
It was that cold.
Yeah, I almost-
Actually, we're just going to eat ours on the patio.
Yeah, I almost asked the waitress if I could wear a jacket. Because apparently that's how cold it is because she was wearing a jacket.
She knew.
Yeah.
She came prepared.
And I let her know, too. Not mean or anything like that, but she was like, yeah, it got so hot yesterday evening in here, we turned the air up, and I guess we just left it up. And I was like, well, whatever. That's fine. No big deal.
Profit margins.
Yeah. So when I was almost on my last bite of food, long story short, nobody was in the restaurant still.
Still.
Yeah, except one guy sitting
So, I mean, we're
drinking
close
beer.
in
One guy
on
came
12
in and
o'clock
was
now.
on his second Bud Light while we were in there.
We're approaching noonish.
We are right there at noon, and I was like, check the health score. Something's going on.
You're swallowing it going,
yeah, check the news. Make
62.
sure this wasn't a crime scene outside last night. I don't know what's going on, but there should be more people here. And then it was like something happened. It's like somebody did something outside, blew a horn, and then everybody came in and started rolling. So I felt better after that.
Okay, good.
But I was worried. I was like, it's like 10 minutes till 12 and nobody except Mr. Drinker up there at the bar that I got to hear everything he's talking about. I was like, why is that?
Ooh.
I mean, do I really want to care what you're talking about to the waitress way down there really loud? I'm not even close to you. I'm on the other side of the restaurant. But
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Was your food good?
It was.
It was good food?
It was good.
Good service?
Got a steak. Yeah.
All right.
Too much. I just asked these, please.
Temperature. The temperature was
It was really cold. It was really cold.
You make sure you eat your food faster. You don't want it to.
I put my I actually put my hands over my food. I was like, my God, this feels so good.
I wasn't going to order the fajitas, but I'm going to get them now just for that sizzling skillet. I couldn't get.
I was afraid the guy at the bar would turn around and look at me, but I almost put my hands in my mashed potatoes just to warm up my fingers. I almost played it. I was like, this is going to make me feel so good, but I didn't do it. Oh, that's so cold. I stay cold. Since I've gotten older, I just stay cold now all the time.
It's a thing.
I guess so.
It's a thing.
That's my story.
Oh, that's funny. That's good stuff. Well, I'm glad you went out to eat. Proud of you. Good job.
I am too.
Good job, Jody.
Man, I told her, I said, we got to hurry. She's like, let's go find something to eat. I was like, we got to hurry. We got to get back. We got to get back.
The day's almost over.
I know.
Sunset.
I know it's almost dark. We got to go.
8 hours till sunset, baby. We got to go.
I'm just like my dad.
We're 20 minutes from home.
I don't know. I guess it's an age thing because I've gotten terrible. I'm like, I get up way too early and I'm ready to go home way too early. I'm like, we got to get.
Do you go to bed early? Not as much.
Not really.
Okay.
Like during the week, it's probably 9 or 9:30.
Okay, so that's real early.
Bad. Not for the time I get up. During the weekend, it's. I don't know. It just depends. Sometimes it's 11. Sometimes it's 10. I don't know.
I talked to someone today. Had a conversation with them. Excuse me. And she was telling me that as you age, you need less food to survive. Like you have less appetite, less desire to eat. You know, that kind of thing.
Because of your metabolism.
Yeah, it starts slowing down. And she was just saying she made a comment and said, if you live to be as old as I am, you won't need as much to eat either. And I was like, that doesn't sound like a personal challenge. Oh, it was funny though. But I'm not to that place. She was discussing where she was saying that her and her husband didn't need a whole lot to eat. And I thought I've seen that be true in a lot of other people's lives, but it's not started presenting in my life yet.
I can see where it'd be hard to fix a meal and not have a lot left over if you're up in age. And what do you really eat? I mean, like if you're going to fix some macaroni and cheese, I don't see like a whole box of it.
Oh yeah.
You're not, both of y'all aren't going to eat all that. So how do you really portion stuff?
That's people tell me that's the hard part about cooking. See, right now we're still a family of 4, so Misty's cooking is for 4 people. So that's pretty easy number to cook for but as it shrinks and it gets lower, and if you're not doing a protein, I guess you're making it a couple of meals. If you're not going with a meat, if you're just going to do some veggies or something, you're doing those same veggies for breakfast. I mean, for lunch and dinner, I guess, or 2 dinners in a row or something.
Velveeta shells and cheese, I could knock out a whole bowl of that every night.
Could you?
Yeah, I don't know what it is about it, but I've got on this salt thing. I can't get enough salt.
You checked your sodium lately, Jody?
No, I don't have to.
Okay. Just add the salt to it.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like every spoonful. It's like 1 spoon, and I'm getting salt. Is that a problem?
I had a spoonful of salt in my mind. Like you had it mounted up, and you're like sprinkling like sugar on top of your cereal.
Well, really, what I do is I lick the spoon, then I pour salt on it so it'll stick.
Yeah.
And then I dig into it.
Do you really?
No.
I was like, my days, Jody. We really do need to get you checked out.
I don't know, but I might try that when I get home because that sounds pretty good.
It was a good idea.
It was.
Tonight you're going to go.
I was like, why? But I don't understand why the salt shaker is empty all the time. But now that I think about it, I'm using a lot of salt.
All right. So this is a question for you. I was with somebody eating lunch a while back.
You with a lot of people.
I know.
I wish I was popular.
I
like
hang
you.
out with folks.
Yeah, you do.
Not the same folks all the time because they get tired of me, so I have to keep it mixed up.
Rotate them out.
But they made a really good point. They don't salt the chips; they salt the salsa, like at the Mexican restaurant. Because other people there's whether you salt the chips or don't salt the chips. That's difference of opinions. Maybe health factors come in. But we had individual things of salsa, and they just salted their salsa. I thought that was a good plan.
I salt the salsa.
Do you?
Salsa. I was saying, because I was thinking of something else. Yeah, I wasn't trying to be like John. Simple fact is because when you salt the chips, it's not going anywhere except bouncing off.
Okay.
It really doesn't stick. If it was oily
if they were
or
hot,
if it was hot, yeah, they'd stick. So yeah, I do. I put it in the salsa.
So you're in team salsa salsa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can't take credit for that. I think Amanda's the one that does it, and I just kind of followed her lead.
I was gonna say I've seen a couple of folks do that in the past, but the other guy had a discussion about it. He's like, "Yeah,"
but I'm not a big salsa person. I mean, like before my meal.
Really?
If you put the big old chips out there, I might not even eat any of them.
That's restraint. I don't have that.
Well, I'm looking forward to my meal.
You're saving
I feel like I'm really hurting myself. Because if I got to wait 20 minutes before I can eat a lot of chips in 20 minutes. But even if I'm just barely here and there, I just feel like, hey, it's tearing into my appetite. I don't want it to come out there and be like, whew, chips.
Yeah, go ahead and put that in the to-go box for me.
Yeah, give me a to-go box.
Oh, okay. Well, I say we call it a day.
Yeah.
Because I'm ready for chips and salsa now.
Yeah. I just wanted to sit here for a second, see if you'd say anything.
Well, Jody, this is where you wrap up the show.
Well, I was waiting on Spencer.
Well, we'll be here till tomorrow.
All right. If you want to see our lovely faces, minus Spencer, check us out on YouTube. That's where we're at.
That's right.
3 Wheels, No Direction.
If you salt the chips or if you salt the salsa, you can send us an email and let us know.
That's right.
At 3 Wheels, No Direction at yahoo.com.
So make sure you subscribe. Make sure if you go to TikTok, you follow us. If you go to Facebook, follow us. If you go to Instagram, follow us. Let me think for a minute. Anything else?
I wish you would have done this at John speed. The wrap up, you just been like, follow us.
I wish I could. I really do.
We could edit it and make you do it.
Speed it up.
Just speed that part up.
What else? We need you to go to Spotify and follow us. Subscribe to us, whatever it is on Spotify. Rate us. Do you know how to rate?
I don't.
I told a person just a little while ago that they follow us, but they didn't know you could rate the show on there. I was like, yes.
You were coaching them up?
I was coaching them up. I was like, come on, we need one more.
But did they do it?
I don't think
Did you say, get your phone out and do it right now?
I think before they ever did, we got into the conversation that I told them, I said, I don't rate anything. There's a lot of shows that I am a dedicated listener to. But
you're not giving them any love?
I never, no.
Are you subscribed to theirs?
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
I subscribe to them, but I don't rate them.
Okay.
I mean, I think that's where.
Are you going to go through and rate some now?
Probably not.
Okay.
That
was very honest, Jody.
But I feel bad because I'm expecting people to rate this show, but I'm not doing that. That's kind of like saying, "Hey, please listen to this show," and then you don't listen.
That would be bad, wouldn't it? If somebody did that.
But it's the truth.
I didn't say listen to us. You said listen to us.
I know. All right. Well, I'm not gonna ask what you're gonna say on the next episode. I'm gonna leave that to Spencer.
Leave it to him.
Yeah. But we do appreciate you listening and watching.
That's right.
And we'll check you on episode 92.
That's right.
Maybe. See ya.
Where you might hear Spencer say,
I can't do it.
Crickets.
Man.
Can I get some crickets?
Josh was long-winded.
I know, we did an hour.